So, to continue from where I left off, my schedule. So already one thing had changed, is I am now in this nuclear engineering class, lab. And that's cool. So some of you who've watched my videos for a while might recall that in the fall I was looking at classes for the spring, and there were a lot of really cool physics classes being offered in the spring. There was string theory, nuclear and particle physics, there was black holes and cosmology, there was general relativity, so on and so forth. I had found out that one of my favorite professors ever, Alan Adams, was going to be teaching general relativity. So, and furthermore, I'm a huge fan of special relativity. I teach splash classes on it every year. So I'm a big fan of it, and I've wanted to do GR for a while. So I've settled on GR. I'm a listener, though, for a whole bunch of other classes, which means that I have access to all of their class content, their P-sets, their lecture notes, their website, everything. And I was looking at the first P-set for string theory, and I was like, oh, well, this looks pretty cool. The first chapter, they're already talking about compact extra dimensions. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do my number theory P-set, and maybe if I have time, try string theory. So I tried string theory after finishing number theory, and I did the first P-set. And I was thinking, here's another thing, is this is my last semester at MIT. And this means that this is my last chance to take classes here. And I'll never again in my life have an opportunity like the one I have now to do these classes. And I would much rather, so what I did was I signed up for everything for credit. So I'm enrolled right now in 84 credits, which is 7 classes, plus I'm TAing another class, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But, yeah, so I figured better to try this, and then down the road look back, or try this and fail, right? And look back and be able to say, well, I tried, right? Nothing I could do. It's too much. Rather than, years from now looking back and being like, man, I wish I'd tried that string theory class, And sure, I can go through the book and try to do it on my own or whatever, but it's different doing it here and doing it in a class. So, yes, I am currently registered in my education class in philosophy of law, which is my final political science minor course, number theory, the nuclear engineering lab, general relativity, string theory, and nuclear and particle physics. Now, the 2 comments I have on this are, first of all, yeah, that's a lot. I have 4 problem sets due every week, in addition to pre-lab questions, in addition to readings, in addition to papers for these half classes, etc., etc. And second of all, how awesome is this, that I am doing these super, super cool classes, that I'm finally, the reason that I was interested in physics, and the reason that people do physics, they get interested in it, at least most people I know, is because of the crazy things that happen with quantum, where you hear about cool things with string theory, or space-time, or, particles and particle splitting and antimatter and things like that. And now, all of the physics classes I'm taking this semester are awesome, and are at the they're on the forefront of physics, and I think that's incredible. And I can really appreciate it too. And this is a tad reflective, I suppose, but I'm a second semester senior, so I'm allowed to do that. Freshman year, I failed my introductory mechanics physics class because I had a very, very, looking back, I can see now that I had an extremely weak background in physics, and I was not prepared to do a physics class at the level that was here. And now, senior year, I'm doing string theory, GR, particle physics. It's very cool, and I really appreciate the fact that I have these opportunities and I'm able to take advantage of this. I think it's incredible. Yeah. So in addition to that, I'm also signed up for 802, which is electricity and magnetism. That's the freshman second course after mechanics. And 802 I'm a TA for. So I go in and I stand and I help them with their problems, and like I do problem solving sessions on Friday, and I give homework help, and I grade their reading questions and everything. So that's pretty cool. That one I'm not doing for credit. I'm getting paid for it. They're supposed to set up a meeting to get my paperwork, but like they haven't, so I think I'll send them an email after this. But yeah, so I also, you can see this. You can see why the videos they're a challenge to find time for, because I don't have time anymore. I'm by far busier this semester than I've been any other semester. But you got to be realistic, right? Historically speaking, I've never successfully completed more than 4 classes in one semester. There were 2 semesters where I attempted 5 or 6 classes, but both semesters I ended up dropping down. So, be curious to hear how many classes you guys think I will actually end the semester with. The bets around here, my friends who I've been talking to seem to think I will drop 3 of my classes. I'm an optimist. I'm hoping for a little higher. In an ideal world, I would be able to keep them all. Because the other thing to keep in mind is I have 2 junior-senior PDFs, which means I can attach this PDF label to 2 classes. And instead of an A, B, C, D, or F, I'll get a P just for pass, D or F. So I might make use of that ability. I've made I like to call it my do-do list of everything that I have due each day and everything I plan on doing each day/night. So I have 4 P sets due every week, which means that I need to complete 3 P sets per 2 days and 1 P set in 1 day. Plus, I have papers and readings and lab prep and things like that, and grading. So I have to figure out time to do that too. So that's a little bit in flux still, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is a good way to spend my senior spring, since this is it. After this and done. So that is how my schedule turned from a nice looking 4, maybe 5 classes into a 7 class plus TA monolith. Yeah, and I'll show you one cool thing before I leave. So there's a problem on string theory that I was doing, which, let's see. So it was asking about so compact extra dimensions. You might have heard that in string theory, extra dimensions beyond the 3 that we can move through are curled up at a very small level. That never really made sense to me. How can you have a dimension curled up? It's weird. So if you think about like this as this is the receipt of all the food I bought at home, because it's so much cheaper at home than it is here. I'm still eating it, so that's great. Anyways, so this is, let's say this is space. This is a one-dimensional space, so it's just a line. This isn't like a piece of paper that you can move on. This is itself space. So if you take this space and curl it up into a circle, it's not actually a circle because there's no such thing as a second dimension. This is one-dimensional thing. So you have this one-dimensional space that kind of loops around on itself. So basically, the string theory piece that was having us to like have these different identities identify different points with other points such that they repeat and curl them up in different ways. So we had an X and Y plane, we curled it up into a cylinder, then that was curled up into a torus, and then they wanted you to show that furthermore, then if you identify all positive with negative, it turns into a 2-sphere, which looks like a pillow. And I couldn't see it, and it was like, oh, and there should be 4 points that don't change for fixed points. So I actually just folded a piece of paper and started doing it. And I'm talking really fast because I'm running out of time. So I just started doing it, and I folded it up. And as I did it, look, it looks like a pillow, like it's supposed to, like a 2-sphere. And then I was looking at it, I'm like, but where are the 4 fixed points? And I was like, oh, and I folded it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fixed points. Incredible. Boom. Done. Yeah. So, Spring's Adventure is looking awesome. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I'll try to keep posting these and lose sleep over it because I don't have time. Peace!